Hey y'all, it's me Taylor and I am making a quick and easy chicken pot pie today, and it is in a 9x13 pan. Grease the pan. I greased it with Crisco. You could grease it with whatever you like to grease your pan with, and then set it at your oven at 350. Okay, what else am I gonna need for this recipe though? Well, I'll tell you, friend. Just you. We already have 3 cups of cooked chicken in here. Cooked and cut up chicken. Okay? So that's one thing. Next, we have 2 10 and a half cans. Oops. So here's one. And this is cream of chicken soup, and I just got the 10 and a half can of it. And this is one that has herbs in it, because sometimes that's all you can find. I'm going to use this spoon to help me get it out. But I don't think, that might just make it even more tasty with the herbs. But the recipe does call for 10.7 ounce cans, but you know what? I just don't have that on me, and I'm not going to go to the store to buy that, and I think it'll taste just as good. So. And this is a recipe I got from Paula Deen, so I will put her website down below. And it's a real crowd pleaser, but I thought I'd share it with you. So. Just because if I like it, maybe it'll be good for you. It's good if you're feeding a nice big crowd, so maybe at a potluck. For me, sorority women, they're a big group with wide varieties in what they like, is the nicest way to say it. Alright, and the nice thing about this recipe is pretty much it's a dump and go, or help get it out and go. So that's what I like about it. It helps make things a little quicker and easier. So remember that when you're doing it. And then I also am going to have a video on how I poached my chicken. Just because I know a lot of us still need to know just the basics of how we cook, because we weren't really taught that, and we had to learn from family, we had to learn from YouTube and websites, so they didn't really teach us that in home ec. So I was like, might as well help y'all out. Martha Stewart gave my mom a great recipe on that she's used for years. So that will be in another video. And I'll try and have that one edited before this one. But you never know with me what you're going to get. Next, you're going to need 1 pound of frozen mixed vegetables. This was all I could find. It's just a little bit below 1 pound. It's 12 ounces. But it'll do the trick for me. For some reason, you can't find these little packages anywhere. Sorry, I've just got a little bit of goopy goo. Oh man, I had to wash some of that off, or I wasn't going to be able to open this. Oh, and I also, before I add in my vegetables, I'm going to add in my milk and my seasonings. Alright, here's my 1/2 cup of milk that I'm adding in. And then I need to add in my seasonings, so I'm going to use a 1/2 teaspoon of parsley. Which means I gotta take this part off to get to that thing. And here's my dry parsley. Isn't this a beautiful jar, by the way? I notice little things like that. I like to reuse things, so. There we are. And that is a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. And I did a 1/2 teaspoon of dried parsley, so just want to make sure I don't forget any of that good information. We're going to now do a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And then we are going to do a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. Okay. Next up, we are going to, we're going to stir this and then we're going to add in the vegetables and chicken. So make sure you have a nice large mixing bowl for this, because it might be a little much if you don't. But yeah, mix all of that goodness in. And I did add the chicken first. You're supposed to add that in later, but you know, it literally, there isn't too much of a method to how you put this in that's going to mess it up. It just might be easier if you have all the more liquided stuff in there. But otherwise, I mean, it's all going to get stirred, so it won't hurt. And I'm going to cut open our mixed vegetables. And remember, try and get a pound or get close to a pound of the frozen mixed vegetables. This was all we could find. Does anyone know why you can't find any of the frozen mixed vegetables that are a pound anymore? Because I'm curious what's going on. So if you do, please comment below. Because that's been kind of annoying. I've been able to find those. And the great thing about this recipe is most of it you can have on hand. So and doesn't that look just like Thanksgiving? That's what I think this looks like. Thanksgiving. Sometimes we forget a little bit about Thanksgiving. I definitely forgot to do some Halloween themed recipes, so you might get those in Thanksgiving. Or you might get them next year, or you might get them during the summer. So, but also it's still fall, so I can still do lots of pumpkin things. So I'm not too worried about it. Still is the season. And just make sure you get that all well incorporated. And I think we're looking pretty good. So I'm just going to check. I have a terrible memory, so this would be the time to now spoon my mixture in to the casserole dish. So I'm going to just get that over here now. Alright, I'm back. I'm just spooning our mixture in here to then get ready for the next step, which is going to be our little biscuits that are on top. So, get excited for that. But I think you get the point. Just spoon it in there. I don't want to keep you for too long or bore you. So, I'll be back soon enough. Hey! That was my mom who just ran out of the room. Okay, so now we are working on our little biscuits we're gonna bake on top of this. So what I got is baking mix. I just have 1.5 cups of baking mix. Okay, y'all? What is baking mix? It simply is Bisquick. This is the Kroger version of Bisquick. So you just gotta go to the store and buy that. I didn't realize that the first time I made this. So I was really confused. But baking mix, and you can get a big old box, and it makes a lot. So, I need to go grab me a charger. Sorry, y'all. Boop, boop. Okay, guys, now it's time to make the biscuits for the top of this beauty. And I spooned her out and spread her out so she looks good. So the first thing you're gonna need is 1.5 cups of baking mix. And that's what I got in there. Baking mix is simply, basically, Bisquick. And it says it right there, all-purpose baking mix. This is the Kroger brand, but you could use Bisquick as well. I did not know that the first time I did this. So, I was very confused. But you just need some baking mix, and you can even make your own if you want. It just takes a lot more time, and trust me, just buying the Kroger baking mix, it's going to be cheap. But if you want to do something a little more extravagant, you can make your own. So, there's that. Okay, so now I'm going to add in just a 1/2 cup of sharp cheddar cheese that's shredded or grated, however you want to say, and a 1/2 cup of milk, and I accidentally got some of my cheese in there when I was measuring, but it's okay. I'm just going to add it to that, because you can never have too cheesy a biscuits unless you don't like cheese, which I happen to know my brother, and he doesn't, so he might argue with that on that. But leave the cheese out if you don't like it that much. But I think you will like it with this. And look at that. You got some biscuits that you can just drop on there. Drop a spoonful on. And I'm trying to think about how many you need. But yeah, you just drop them. Drop them on there. I guess 3 we'll go 3 this way. And you might need another little spoon to help you get it on, because this one just took forever to drop. So sometimes you gotta help them out. And they don't gotta be perfect. Guess what? You're gonna eat it anyway, so it just gotta taste good. So you being a professional is what, that comes later on. Oh, that one wasn't very much. Well, I don't want to bore you and take up too much time, but just be methodical when you put this out. And I'll be back when I put it in the oven. Okay, y'all, now it's time to put this bad boy in the oven for 350. And we are going to wait for our biscuits to get golden brown on top. And there's one other thing I need to tell you, which is that this is going to bake in 35 to 40 minutes. So I know y'all are down there. Thank y'all. I'll show you the end result. Hey y'all, I'm back. And our little chicken pot pie, our quick and easy chicken pot pie, our chicken pot pie casserole, just came out of the oven. I left it in a little bit longer than 30 minutes. it was 30 to 45 if I can remember off the top of my head. And because I wanted my biscuits a little bit more golden brown. But it looks great. I can't wait to bite into it.
U.S. Preventive Services,
Oh, I need to turn the TV off.